Inauguration Day. My first official action as your president will be a trip to Ronkonkoma to confront the evil senators that had the nerve to bankroll a scientist whose purpose was to poison innocent train riders and morph them into goo-spewing fiends. If I do achieve in making the world a safer place, I'll buy everyone a sandwich. And I won't just order, 5 billion ham and cheese sandwiches. Everyone will be allowed to pick what kind of sandwich they want. Yes, I do know that a muck-raking reporter could leap out from behind his media garbage hideaway and shine a filthy spotlight on the fact that I am married, and then prod public opinion against me because I'm not presenting my wife as First Lady. If that were to happen, I'd have to be quick to point out that some couples are better off with limited communication. Let's say an allowance of 10 minutes every other Tuesday, or maybe pick a holiday and trade a couple of text messages. I've already accepted that my administration will be considered controversial, but I must be happy. I must be able to allow my personality to roam free. I will remain married to my present wife, but take another to be my First Lady. She will have to be strong, supportive, and brave. My term as president will be thick with dangerous travels. As to whom the First Lady will be, I am at great conflict with my own options. I plan on making history, and so therefore need to be joined with a woman who has already made history. I need to be with one of those two women who had experienced the whole Long Island Goo Spew incident. Stacy was a Spitfire knockout, but Laura had the class and sophistication. Part of me wants to mush them together like s'mores over a campfire, but that would be cheating. It wouldn't be presidential. Traveling will give me some quiet time to sort this thing out before I reach Ronkonkoma. Once I get there, I won't have room for much else except ambushing diabolical senators and making sure they taste the wrath of Mr. President. Anyways, I'm a little rusty in the romance department, especially those beginning steps. I mean, do you go in for a hug after you get a phone number? Or maybe try to feel her hair in a sensual way? Alright, need to get it under control. Sometimes choices can be a bit overwhelming. I can't afford to be twitchy and denied clarity of sight. What had happened on the Long Island Railroad cannot happen again. I've got to convert the negative nervousness to a positive adrenaline, much like how the human body breaks down the food we eat into a usable fuel called energy. I'm quite prideful of the developing mastery over my brain and its wild child tendencies. It is true that Stacy did not survive her fateful train trip. Absolutely and totally unfortunate. So therefore, if she were to become my First Lady, her form would dwell exclusively within my own head. She would exist and perform her First Lady duties, and only me, the President, would know it. In short, Stacy would not attend any fundraisers for literacy or sickle cell awareness. However, Laura is still out there, alive in the traditional sense, which will make her an easier choice for the country to accept. Talk to me, ladies. I must hear your voices in order to choose wisely. Your president demands it.
Mr. President, you know I could rise to the occasion and make you so happy. My mother passed down to me her top-secret recipe for lasagna. Imagine solving problems late at night in the Oval Office and feeling so satisfied that you have me, inside and out.
Well, that's a pretty picture, Stacy. What do you think, Laura? Can you match it?
I've never needed to compete for the affections of any man. Why? Because I like who I am.
Or is it because your heart is still with Tim Tarahebi, your hero, that restaurant server who went above and beyond?
Sad to say, he had more problems than I could handle. Dealing with those problems would just weigh me down, hold me back. But you are going places, Mr. President. You could be my rock and my rocket.
Call me Spanky.
If you call me First Lady.
Now it's time to conquer the world. I certainly don't plan to be a dictator, but I do intend on putting the H back into harsh. I have now been inaugurated. I have been coupled with my perfect mate. I am dizzy with pride. I will deliver on my promises with an iron fist. And yet, I feel like curling into a ball and crying my eyes out because I'm so happy. Thank you, America. Thank you for needing me as your president. I've been around the block more than a few times, and I do know that frigid corners are not warm. I know that shadowy places often don't have much sunlight. Come on out, evil senators. Your convention is now officially busted. Polluting the railways with toxic hooch that zombifies innocent party people will no longer be tolerated. Lights out, sweetheart. I've got a large suitcase full of retribution that needs to be checked in. Open your ears, Mr. President, and listen to old Bobby Palmetto. Coming from a background in corporate espionage, my advice to you is